It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Los Angeles Chargers and the New York Giants. And it's all up next.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Now the kicker, that's Cameron Dicker, set to get us started. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
They'll start with a run by Tracy. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
They'll go again with Tracy. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On fourth down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. Back deep for L.A. is Darius Davis. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020. The man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And it certainly hadn't taken Herbert long to earn his status as one of the league's best and most entertaining passers. Locked and loaded at every snap. And the second he sees an opening, that ball is soaring downfield. You better be on your toes against him on defense. The second you turn your head, he'll burn you.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He finds his man, complete. It's Hampton, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
That turns into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
Herbert now. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long.
They'll run with a second-round pick from April's draft.
And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in. He's got room to roam.
Touchdown, LA!
Mike Williams.
49 yards.
And the Chargers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And that makes the score 7-0. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And in the end, it was Mike Williams who capped the drive with a touchdown reception. Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Tracy going to get it on 1st down.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2nd down and 4. Right back to Tracy.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now Wilson.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play that time on the catch and run. 36 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Give all that credit defensively to Khalil Mack. A great stop in the backfield.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
From the gun, it's Wilson.
Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Giants are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
They'll try to run this one in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
2nd and goal from the 1.
Now it's Tracy.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Giants are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Sometimes offense can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive.
A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Now it's Herbert. That is caught. It's Williams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards that time.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Herbert. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up first and goal.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Back to throw here, Herbert. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. Herbert. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Here's Herbert. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Will Dissly, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Chargers have taken the lead. No surprise there. Third and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Extra point try now from Dicker. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Possession of the football going back over to the Giants. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Wilson. He'll get that to his tight end, Theo Johnson. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 2. On the give, it's Tracy.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football. The Giants on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Wilson. And he will have a first down as they get into the ground at the 37. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up, and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
To throw is Wilson.
He's got Slayton on the slant.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. In motion goes the tight end. Throwing is Wilson.
Once again, he finds Slayton.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 21. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Tracy trying the right side. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
They'll hand it to Tracy.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. Here's Wilson. That is caught and able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal.
Here's Tracy.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now it's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Russell Wilson, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Giants are an extra point away from drawing level.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Gano for the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Chargers offense back onto the field.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
First carry for Najee Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and 8.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. Short throw to Disley. 2 yards on the pickup there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Completion was given up, and that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now a 3rd and 6.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He finds his man, complete. That's Hampton, and he is going to lose yardage here. They call it a loss of a yard there, and it'll be 4th down.
To me, this is a case of if you're not getting the ball, you've got to do your job and block for the guy who is, because there really wasn't much there. And, boy, the defense took advantage with that loss.
And the defense, they were just locked in there on 3rd. They had more guys than they could block.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10.
New York ready to go again offensively.
And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Wilson.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete.
A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
Here's Wilson to throw. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards.
That's a well-thrown ball right there. This is where arm strength pays off because he's got to be able to get the ball both downfield and to the sideline, and that's one of the more difficult throws for a quarterback, and he put it right where it needed to be.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now Wilson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. 2nd and 10. They go play action now. Wilson.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete. Escapes the defender. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers 23. A 3rd down conversion with a strong gain of 14.
You want to see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset? This is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. This one is Slayton over the middle. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. Second down and 3. Wilson will throw again. He gets this one to Johnson. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Giants have moved out in front.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Gano now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Charger offense making their way back out there. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. No, the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. Well, this is taken in. It's complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
That one good for 37 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Complete to Johnston here.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 4.
Herbert now. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Again, Herbert. It's Williams on the catch. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down. Back to throw here, Herbert. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Herbert. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Herbert throwing again.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Giants are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Giants now going to take over late in this first half. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored him, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
And his throw here's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now it's Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. To throw again is Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They give up 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson.
Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33.
To throw is Wilson. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Here's Wilson. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Gano's kick is good, and the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, they'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Charger drive about to get going. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right, they did something to disrupt that timing.
A final shot before the break for Herbert. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
In the first half, we saw a strong performance out of the veteran quarterback, Russell Wilson. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Chargers going to get the football first here in this second half, and they trail as we get back underway. And able to get this out to the 25. Here's Mike Williams now as his guys head back out to go on offense. Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. Now it's Herbert. Over the middle, complete. That's Williams. And nothing to speak of there after the catch as they get him right to the ground at the 37. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Here's second and 3. Now a handoff up the middle. Hampton. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 50 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Well, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
They go jet sweep here with Williams. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now a give right side. It's Hampton. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was third and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Herbert takes it and just pops it forward. He's dropped just inside the 20. A little second effort there, but couldn't find a whole lot of space.
Tackle made that time by Chauncey Golston.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Here's Herbert. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Herbert.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Chargers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Chargers are back within a score.
That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Giants offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
On the run is Tracy.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Here is 3rd and 5.
Wilson.
The short throw pulled in by Bellinger.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Chargers offense and Justin Herbert getting set for this next drive. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now.
The Charger drive about to get going.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
He'll find Williams on the slant. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? You got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. He's across midfield and down right around the 37. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. Short throw to Disley. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
How about the timing on that one? Where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
2nd down and 6 now.
Here's Herbert. Over the middle and caught by McConkey. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That goes for a gain of 31.
Oh, I think we all understand his disappointment. He didn't quite get to the end zone, and you know it's just got to be tough to see a yard line underneath you after a play like that. Still, all in all, a huge play, and now they're set up 1st and goal at the 1.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown.
Justin Herbert
taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Chargers have retaken a 3rd quarter lead.
They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And that will make this a 4-point game. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The New York set to take the field. Their lead, they have seen it evaporate completely after such a good first half. They've been shut down here in the third quarter.
Searching for answers, trying to figure out what it's going to take to get back to where they were before. The big part of it is that sometimes you don't have to go exotic now. You go back to basics. Being able to run the football, string some things together, some effective passes, try and get a rhythm established again, and try and get back in the lead.
Back in the lead, like you said, back to the basics. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
On the ground, here comes Tracy.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
3rd down, here's Tracy.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. They'll run on first down. Tracy.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing is Wilson. This one is Slayton over the middle. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Third down and 1.
Up the middle they go.
Tracy, and he will have a Giants first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. From the shotgun, Wilson.
A throw right side caught by Neighbors.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years at not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 4.
Now a handoff up the middle. Tracy, nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
So 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. They'll keep it on the ground. Tracy. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
69 yards rushing now as he's done it on 22 carries.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson.
That's complete. It's Neighbors.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now Wilson.
Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They go play action with Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Again, Wilson.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Give him credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Being chased out left. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Russell Wilson. A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Giants answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left in no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, Herbert. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been outstanding. 7 first downs and 8 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Up the middle they go. Hampton, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. The Giants offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And it's hard to believe you can run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That one taken in by Neighbors. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Left side, he's got Robinson. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now a handoff up the middle. Tracy, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Wilson. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit
and take a fourth quarter lead. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
Herbert now. He finds his man complete. That's Hampton. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
He finds his man complete. That's Hampton. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
Oh, I know it goes against the grain here. Totally goes against it, but you've got to drop the ball in that situation. He makes a catch, but he loses yards and doesn't get out of bounds.
Well, they'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Throwing, Herbert. Johnston hauls it in.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Here's 1st and 10. Now Herbert.
He's got it to Williams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
Here's 1st down. Herbert.
Short throw to Disley.
And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Time certainly a factor. Under 40 to play. 2nd down.
Up the middle they go. It's Hampton, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go.
Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10. Herbert.
And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Dicker down to tack on the extra point.
And that will make this a 4-point game. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So Russell Wilson in the offense. Down 35-31, 27 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Throwing now is Wilson. Connects with Slayton. Oh, and a nice tackle, a 6-yard pickup, but they need more than that. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock, but I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big gain.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Now 2nd and 4. Here's Wilson. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. They've got to burn the timeout, and they do, but a costly, costly sack. And now maybe just time for one final play. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Wilson to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
One last shot for Wilson. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Victory formation, time for the Chargers. They take a knee.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making a